What's up, self healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Today, I wanted to come on and chat it up a little bit about the movie Sinners. Now, it's been decades since I've been to a movie. It's been decades since I've been to a movie. It's been decades since I've even watched a movie at home from beginning to end. I haven't since probably 2003. So I wasn't quite sure what was drawing me to this movie. So on Mother's Day, I took myself out to the movies to go see Sinners. Yeah? On a Scorpio full moon, no doubt. I really enjoyed the movie. Now, there was a point where I was going to get up and leave because I felt like there was something in the background that wasn't resonating with me as far as the music that was being played in the background, right? And so I was picking up on something. I didn't know what it was, but something said, "Sit down, finish the movie." I was almost done with it anyways at that point. So the movie is, I don't want to give it away for those who haven't seen it. But so Sinners, everybody has their own perspectives about it. Now, I've looked at other people's reviews on it and what they felt about the movie and things of that sort. A lot of it I didn't agree with. I had my own perspective of what I felt like the movie was about. And so the hidden messages in the movie, the first thing I noticed was that the twins in the movie, Smoke and Stack, one wore a blue hat and one wore a red hat. And immediately I realized that kind of symbolizes the red pill, right? The Matrix, or the blue pill, the awakening. Yeah. And so I picked up on that right away. But so this is my perception of what the movie Sinners was about. So, in our culture and many other cultures, in every culture, music is a primary staple in the culture. It's used from everything for healing ourselves to magic to it's used for everything. So music has always been a staple, especially in our community. It's been storytelling with drums playing in the background. There's been blues, jazz, folk music, soul, gospel, and even poetry. Yeah. And so we've always used music as a way of healing ourselves. Yeah. Uplifting our spirits and things of that sort. So just like when you go to church, they always have the choir. There's always music. Yep. And so there's a certain hertz that heals. Now, the hertz that heals is 432 hertz, right? So we'll get a little deeper into that. And so music and dancing has always been something that has been cultural for us and for every other culture. Yes. And the funny thing about this movie is that it represented every culture. It represented the red, the black, the yellow, and the white. And so every race was within this movie. And so that was also something to me that symbolized that it's not only affecting us as a people, it's affecting everyone as a whole. Yeah. And so for me, the subliminal message, some words were spoken within the movie where I picked up on subliminal messages where things were said like, "I want your mind, I want your thoughts, and I want your music," right? And I was like, "Oh, okay." And at first I thought it was destiny swapping, because I was like, because I'm waiting for the subliminal messages, so I'm like, okay, they're trying to destiny swap. That's what's happening right there, or they're trying to take the culture or something like that. And so it got to the point where when he said that, "I want your mind, I want your thoughts, and I want your music," at that point I realized, oh, it's the music. Yeah. And so the music that we used to, this movie was made like in 1930s or something like that. And so the music that we listened to then were music that we made, that we played with our own instruments, our own creativity. Yeah. And primarily a 432 hertz type vibe. Right. And so in this day and age, the primary hertz that's used is 440 hertz. Now, 432 hertz resonates with the body. It resonates with the human frequency because it's the frequency of nature. And so it heals the body. Now, 440 hertz, which is what is primary used today, it was also used. This is something that sticks in my head, that it was also used. Hitler used it on the Nazis to control the soldiers, yeah, and to get them, to make them angry, to make them irritated, so that they would be violent towards the Jews. Yeah, they also play 440 hertz within the Jewish camps 24 hours a day to kind of like get them irritated and annoyed and bothered, just to make life as miserable as possible. So 440 hertz has been used in the past as a weapon. They weaponized music, yeah, used to control. And so, so with that being said, this movie was more of a it was more of a, the way I looked at it was that they were giving us the message that we need to start paying closer attention to our music that we listen to. Yes, because music has such a profound effect on the human body, right? And so when you think about it, if you listen to music that's sexy or whatever, you may think about being intimate with someone. If you listen to music that's violent, you may, be ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? And so, so music does have a profound effect on how we function. Yeah, music equals mood. So whatever mood you're in, you want to clean your house, you might put on some jazz and just kind of clean your house in a relaxed way. Yeah. And so, so for me, that's what the whole movie represented, was that they were sending out subliminal messages. The red pill, listen to whatever you want to listen to, and think that music does not have a profound effect on you, on your thoughts, and on your actions. Or go with the blue pill and realize that the hertz in music, the words in music, has a profound effect on how people function in the world today. Yeah, so music has certainly been weaponized. It also gave me the indication that we should go back to just playing our own music. Yeah, go back to the blues, go back to the jazz, go back to the folk music, go back to the poetry and the storytelling and things of that sort. And so that we should take back control of our music, and our creativity. Yeah, so music has totally been taken by the powers that be, and a lot of musicians and artists, they've taken control of their creativity, and they pay them for their creativity, but they don't pay them what they're worth. So they take control of the music, and they own the artist's creativity. Prince was one of the ones who said he did not want to do that. He had been in a part where he had been a part of his career where he had given it over to the powers that be, and then he took it back. That's when he changed his name to just a symbol. Yeah, so, and he had the word slave written on the side of his face. That's when he was trying to take back his music and take back his creativity. So the powers that be, they control the music, and music, it has been weaponized. And so to me, the movie Sinners was basically saying that it's time that we take back our power when it comes to our creativity. Yeah. And so the vampires would come through the movie, and they would once the vampires, they had to ask permission to come into the juke joint, because they had created a juke joint. So the vampires were coming to the juke joint, and they had to ask permission to come into the juke joint. So to me, that meant that these people cannot get in your head through music unless you give them permission. They cannot get in your heads through music, through the subliminal messages that are in music, the frequencies that are in the music that they create, if we do not give them permission. And so really the whole movie to me was based off of, are we going to stay asleep and just keep listening to any and everything, things that provoke our spirit into negativity, into anger, into violence? Basically the lower three chakras, sex, power, control, power, sex, and control. The lower three chakras is what 440 hertz is vibrating on, where it makes you, that's what you're thinking about: power, sex, and control. Now, when you look at concerts of people of color, it's just it's twerking, and it's all this, the 440 hertz type energy. Rock and roll also the same 440 hertz type energy. And then when you go to other people's concerts and stuff like that, they're listening to jazz, and they're listening to classical and things of that. That's working with the upper chakras, yeah, the 432 hertz. And so basically it in a nutshell, it was all saying that we have the power to take back control of what we allow into our ear gate, right? Because it does have an effect on the energetic body. It does have an effect on the spirit. And so the movie was basically saying that we truly do have control. They had to ask permission, like, hey, can I come in? And they had the choice to say yes or no. And so the same thing with us, the music industry will bombard you if one allows them to do so. And so just like we have to be cautious about who we let into our sacred space, we also have to be cautious about what we let into our eye gate and our ear gate. Yes? So I did go see the movie Sinners. I did enjoy it. Like I said, I did get up at one point and was like, yeah, I've had enough, I'm leaving. But something said, just finish the movie. And so I finished it, and I'm happy that I did. Yeah. So if you haven't seen the movie Sinners, yeah, I suggest you go see it. It's not a long movie, but there's a lot of subliminal messages in there. And once you see it, let me know what your opinion was on it, because I'm not going to see everything. I'm not going to see it like you see it. You're not going to see it like I see it. So come back and let me know how you feel about the movie Sinners. Yeah? Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a message, and ring the bell notification so that you know when I upload. We'll see you later.